Hi guys, what's up and welcome to a new mathematics video. It's me, Mr. Mistosh Mathematics here, and today we're going to be looking at multiplying and dividing by 5, specifically looking at fast and effective ways to do this. If you're the type of person who, say, for instance, I said to you, can you multiply 27 by 5, and you say 135 as quickly as I did there, this video is probably not for you. Well, maybe not for the multiplying part. You can skip through to the dividing part. However, if those of you watching are like, how did he do it so fast? I'd like to be able to do that. Make sure you watch the video. Now, if we specifically look at multiplying, just to begin with, it's worth taking note that when we're multiplying, effectively the trick what we're going to be using is the following. Multiplying by 5 is the same as timesing by 10 and then dividing by 2. Just to convince you, if we assume that we know our 5 times tables from 1 through to 10, so 5 times 1 up to 5 times 10, if I say to you what's 5 times 8, and you say, 40, because I've memorised that. Fair enough, you've got the answer, but can we verify that it works using this method? So the answer should be 40. Let's see if it works. So the number we're multiplying by 5, we should be able to times it by 10, then divide it by 2, and get the answer of 40. So just to check, 8 times 10 is 80, and 80 divided by 2, which is effectively halving, is 40. That works. Could it work with another one? Let's try 5 times 18. Much higher. So if you've stopped memorising your 5 times table up to 5 times 10, you might struggle here. You might use a chunking method, 5 times 10 and 5 times 8. Add them together to make 5 times 18. Or you could use this fast method here. What's 18 times 10? 180. 180 divided by 2, which is effectively halving it, is 90. It's honestly as simple as that. To come back to what I asked at the start of the video, 5 times 27. You can apply the same trick here. 27 times 10 is 270. 270 halved is 135. If you're like, how is he halving numbers so fast? Just remember, 270 halved is the same as halving the hundreds and halving the tens there. 200 halved is 100. 70 halved is 35, and we combine them to make 135. Now we can extend this also, it's worth noting, to decimals. For instance, if we was going to do decimal, one decimal place, we could go for, let's say, 2.4 times 5. Now, when we multiply 2.4 by 5, you need to remember that we're actually going to be multiplying 2.4 by 10 and then dividing it by 2. So what is 2.4 times 10? You need to bear in mind that when you multiply by 10, you move the decimal place once to the right. That number will become 24. Then we need to divide that by 2, half it, which is 12. Turns out you can effectively multiply decimals with this as well. What if the number had 2 decimal places though? Is that going to be tricky? Let's try it out. 24.68. A much harder decimal there. You've got 2 digits at the front of the number. Oh, forgot to write times 5. You've got 2 digits at the front of the number, and you've got 2 digits afterwards. How complicated can this be? Well, let's try it. 24.68. Firstly, we're going to multiply it by 10, move the decimal once to the right. We'll get 246.8. We then need to halve it. Now let's use that method of halving each component. Here it will be the hundreds, the tens, the ones, and then the tenths. So half of 200 is 100. Half of 40 is 20. Half of 6 is 3. And half of 8 there, which is the 8th, would be 4. 123.4. It's extremely fast to multiply using this method, guys. Like I say, you just need to remember timesing by 10 and then dividing by 2. For the keen people amongst you, timesing by 10 and dividing by 2 is effectively timesing by 10 and dividing by 2, which is, if you simplify this, 2 goes into both of these numbers, 5 divided by 1 is 5. That there is your understanding as to how it works. Now, if we skip forward to dividing and how we can use this method, which in my opinion here is a lot stronger, and the applications for it spreads through a wider amount of people, because not many people will know how to divide any number by 5, but mostly they will know numbers in the 5 times table to divide by 5. For instance, 45 divided by 5. Someone might comfortably say, that's 9. What about 47? What would that answer be? How would we do that fast? Now, it's actually the opposite to what we do when we multiply. So rather than timesing by 10 and then dividing by 2, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to times the number by 2 and then divide it by 10. In fact, you could divide it by 10 then times it by 2, but I prefer to do the multiplication first. Now, if we were to pick a number, say 47 divided by 5, let's see how that would work. If we was to double 47, we would get double 40 is 80, double 7 is 14, 80 plus 14 is 94. If we divide 94 by 10, you need to remember to move the decimal place 1 to the left, the opposite as to when you times by 10, where you move it 1 to the right. It becomes 9.4. Really, really quick method here. Let's try a number in the 5 times table, just to convince yourself even further. 135. Remember, we need to double the number. 135 doubled is 270. 270 divided by 10, moving the decimal place 1 to the left, 27. Really, really fast again. Now, could we do this with a decimal? That's the question. Let's attempt it. This one will verify with a calculator. If we're to take the number 5.8 and we divide that by 5, if we double 5.8, so if we double 5 firstly, we get 10. Double 0.8, you get 1.6. We add those two numbers together, we get 11.6. We then need to divide that by 10. Move the decimal place once to the left. We should get 1.16. Now, just to verify, if we pull up our calculator here, 5.8 divided by 5, 1.16. And now, I hope this has been useful for you. It's a really, really, really fast trick. If you've got any further comments, remember to put it in the comments down below. If you like the video and you want to see more, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, until next time, see you later.